Hi, I'm Sean. I'm sorry if you blocked your view. Okay. So, just by raising hands really quick, who's heard of this Hyperbole project? One. Okay. I'm just letting you guys know that we're gonna be recording this because we're gonna be on the news and they want us to like send them like a video of us talking. So if this class participates, this is like the best class that we've done so far, then you guys will probably be on the news too. Or at least like the back of your heads and stuff like that. Okay? Is that cool with you guys? You guys want to be like famous and stuff? Yeah. And then like let's participate, let's do this, alright? Okay. So one more time, who's heard of this? Who's heard of the project? Okay, more people raise their hands now. Okay, so if you guys haven't heard of it, it's a Facebook page on Facebook, obviously, that I made like 2 years ago. And I was always known as the guy to give advice. Like, people would always ask me for advice. You know, your typical love advice, like, you know, my boyfriend's cheating on me with my sister, what do I do? What would you guys do? Yeah, right? That's cool to keep it in the family, but not like that, right? So, and then you also get your you know, people would tell me their stories. And when I say stories, I mean like personal stories, like of them getting bullied, of them having suicidal thoughts, of them wanting to commit suicidal thoughts, them getting molested by family members. It gets really deep sometimes, right? So basically at the end of each story, they would all basically say the same thing, which is, nobody understands how I feel, nobody understands my pain, you know, only I've been through this, right? This is gonna get personal. Is that cool with you guys? Yeah. When I say because we're not up here just talking, like, what we do is different. We get you guys involved too, so this is gonna be personal with everybody, alright? I'm letting you guys know, I'm sorry. Sometimes for girls, like before in the past, they would cry, so I'm sorry if you're wearing makeup. I feel like you understand, I'm sorry.
He's wearing makeup.
Guys, if you're wearing makeup too, that's fine. Okay. So, by raising hands, okay, one more thing. This is going to be Las Vegas, okay? What happens here stays here, right? Nobody judges. That's that, right? Cool? You guys agree? You guys have voices, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so by raising hands, who here has ever felt that way? Like they were alone, nobody's ever felt how they feel, or... Okay, now this is where it always gets like interesting. Keep your hands up. Because this is where, after what I say right now, it goes like this, like that.
Ask the question again, some people missed it.
Who's here ever felt like they were alone? Like they've never had like nobody to talk to at one point. Okay, now, like we said, we're going to participate, right? So I'm going to ask all the people that are raising their hands to come up here with me. Yep. So I saw you guys. Cool. I'm telling you, it's going to help. It's going to prove a point.
I saw a lot more
I
hands.
see a bunch of people raise their hands here.
Two hands.
No. Well, this is not a stage. So, since there's more people up here, right?
Don't turn your back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just want everybody here, like all you guys, to look at the empty chairs where your friends are sitting at. Okay? What does that tell you? Or what does that make you feel? Like honestly. You can call out, it's fine, you don't have to raise your hands. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, to see those empty chairs, the reason why you know they're up here and you see those empty chairs, how does that make you feel? Like, how many people are up?
It makes me sad that so many people would feel alone.
Right?
And I wish they
This is where it gets personal for you guys. Yeah. So I'm getting tense right now. Be honest, right? Nobody's gonna judge, okay? But how many of you guys have ever felt like that was it, where you wanted to commit suicide? Yeah. Okay. Now, nobody's gonna judge, right? Okay, so the people that raised their hands that felt that way, stay up here. If you haven't, then you can take a seat.
How about the people who didn't raise their hands but did feel that way and felt kind of scared to keep their hands raised should stay up too?
I mean, if you've never felt that way, then you can sit down. If you have, then you want to be honest, which is perfectly fine. Yeah.
How about this? I have felt that way. And if I can confess it,
Ask your teacher.
I felt that way too.
Hey, come on up. Oh, wait.
Wait. Now the reason why I'm asking this is one, give them a round of applause. And it really does take a lot, you know, to admit something like that because that's something really personal. So automatically right there, you guys should feel like they trust. Have you guys ever told anybody that?
My therapist.
Therapist?
I'm a therapist.
But like, I mean, kids in your school. No? So you guys should automatically feel like a little bit more of a bond and trust because this isn't a classroom anymore. This is more of a family now. Okay? Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna talk to them really quick. You guys can listen. It's cool. But you guys are really strong, like seriously, because what people don't realize when they have suicidal thoughts, obviously something bad happens to them, right? Something bad has happened to you guys, right? And what people don't realize is when they commit suicide, they're basically not giving themselves, you know, a chance to have a better life. Okay, it's not always gonna be bad. At one point, hopefully soon, but it might take time. You know, it's gonna get better. Okay, so automatically you guys are already stronger than a lot of people because you guys didn't commit suicide. Okay, so one more time, give them a round of applause. Do any of you guys want to share your story on why you feel that way or felt that way? Because this is what we do. We share stories, and basically how I think about it is what happens when you guys shake a soda bottle. When you guys shake it explodes, right? It sounds funny and weird, but I think everybody here is a human soda bottle. Okay? Meaning you have bad stuff happening in your life, right? And that's basically life shaking you up. Now, what happens when you don't open up, you bottle everything up? What happens at the end? You explode, right? Something bad happens, right? Now, if you little by little open up and tell people your story or tell people why you're upset about whatever you're upset about, you start feeling better. And what happens when you shake a soda bottle but you twist the cap a little bit, little by little? It fizzes down, right? It fizzes down, right? So that's basically what you guys are doing. Anybody? So do any of you guys want to share your story? Yeah?
Okay, so I've never really opened up about this. As you can see, I want to cry. My heart is pounding. So, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, like, oh, like I hate my parents. Like, you guys say how much you guys hate them, how much you guys don't want them, how when you're 18 you're gonna move out because you can't deal with them. But my parents divorced when I was little, and you know that's not a big thing. But my dad has a really bad, like, he has a really bad temper. Like he explodes really fast. And not so long ago, I got into an argument with my dad, and I always kept it inside that I was afraid of my dad. Like I'm really scared of my dad. And like I always felt that I couldn't tell him how I felt because he would get mad at me for everything. Thank you. And not so long ago I told him how I felt and he just disappeared. And I thought, you know, my dad doesn't love me because he just left. But I just got in contact with my dad like about 3 weeks ago and I hadn't seen him in 2 months and he said that he had enrolled himself into some kind of like, you guys know what like what alcoholics do, you know, like, yeah, kind of like that, but for anger. And, you know, I haven't seen my dad in 2 months, and he said he won't be home for another 6. I mean, in a way, it's a good thing. My dad is getting better. He said he wants to be a better dad, but it's hard, you know. My mom can't do it all on her own, and I feel bad because I just go home and see my mom break down, and I know my mom doesn't like to do that because she wants to let us know that everything will be okay, but it's hard. But yeah, like I just never told anybody that. And sometimes I feel like it's my fault. I can't be there for my mom as much as I can't help her as much as I want to. But you know, I do what I can. And yeah. You know, you guys don't complain about your parents because I mean my dad isn't gone, but I miss him. I miss him a lot. So don't complain for what you guys have because honestly, all of you guys, I get to see your parents every day. You guys are so lucky. I miss my dad.
Yeah, I've seen my dad Have you guys ever thought that she felt that way? Why? Right? That's what smiles do. Smiles hide everything, right? You can be in the worst mood, but if you put a smile on, what are people gonna think that don't know you really? Everything's right. Everything's fine, right? So this is basically what we do. That page is basically what you just did, which, thank you. But on that page, if you go to the Cyberbully Project on Facebook, you search it, you'll read a bunch of stories. There's a bunch of stories on there. Stories from this small to like this big, when it gets in deep, like deep things. And when people feel alone, you read those stories and you'll see like out of like the 1,800 people that like that page, there has to be at least one person that has felt the same way as you have, right? So that's
Sean,
what.
can I ask you a question that's very appropriate to what you're saying?
Yeah.
How many people, when you heard her story, could identify with what she's going through? So look, you're not alone, right? These people know what you're going through. You can always talk to them. That, I think, is the beauty of the Cyberbully Project.
And basically we just let you guys open up, you know? People, when we first come in here and like it's cool and stuff, and then when it starts getting personal, that's when it gets serious, right? Because you don't really realize what pain people go through that are sitting right here in your class. Does anybody else want to share their story?
In my life, I go through so much. The battle that I actually never got bullied, like with my friends or people. I've gotten bullied through my parents. My mom likes to call me and my sister names and swear us up and down that we need to lose weight because we're into acting, and she said there's no fat actresses on stage, and
Mike and Molly.
Yeah.
well,
That Amy.
she said some actresses like are like really fat, like you have to be either like skinny for my mom or you have to be really fat and able to act.
King of Queens.
Let's bring that to my mom. And my dad, my parents, I'm not supposed to really say this, but I grew up when my parents used to hit me and my sister a lot, like a lot. My mom and my dad still threaten to do it, but they don't. And so I have to lose like 20 pounds by January, and I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that because I love food. And my dad, he grew up and he likes to drink and a lot, but he doesn't do it anymore because he has diabetes and so much wrong with my family, and he gets angry like a lot, like unbelievably like a lot, and I'm terrified of him. And last Christmas I ran away for like a week. I ran away and I didn't want to ever come back, and then my dad found me and almost like certified that he was going to kill me. And I wish I could just run away again and just want to leave here and go somewhere else and just start over. But I can't.
What would you want to do?
What do you mean?
You said start over. What would you want to do if you went somewhere else?
Like, I don't want to even think about my family. My parents say they're going to leave each other. I mean, they're divorced, but they never actually like separate. They just fight and fight and fight and fight. I just want to forget about that and just focus on me and not have to worry about who I'm going to choose. Like, choose my mom or my dad. Because if I choose my dad, and my mom said I can never talk to her again or never be an actress, and if I choose my mom, then I can never talk to my dad again. Those words have been said by me. I just want to not have to think about it and just go away.
Well, if you think about it, like, this is kind of your escape right here. School, and this class, especially now, since, you know, like you said, you never told anybody this, right? But everybody here knows, you know? So there's more of a trust bond here, which is why I said this is more of a family now than it was before, you know? So I mean, when you say you want to go away, like when you come here, this is basically your escape for a little bit, at least for a little bit, which is better than nothing, you know. But I mean, I know what it feels like for families to fight. Because my family fights all the time. Like my apartment knows that when there's yelling, that most likely it's my apartment. You know, and it sucks, but that's how it was for us. I mean, I just want you guys to give them a round of applause just for you. Did everybody here think that she went through that? Because of the same thing. When you came here, you were smiling, you know? I didn't think you went through that. So, I respect both of you guys for sharing your story. Anybody else at all you want to share your story?
It's really hard to say. I've moved a lot of different schools a lot, and I try to make friends. And I thought, like, my mom tells me, treat other people the way you want to be treated. And I got picked on a lot. Like, at one time, I had to lose a lot of weight because people said that I was pregnant. And the principal told me I had to leave because he didn't want people to, like, I don't know, like, I believe that he thought that I was. And I had to lose a lot of weight because I didn't want to go to another school where people would say, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm like, I'm showing. And every school I go to, I try to be nice, and no one likes me. Like, they make fun of me, they say I'm too fat still, and at one time I just started starving myself, because I felt like food was just making me too fat. And, like, I try wearing huge clothes to make me look really skinny, but it never works. And I just try to make friends, and every time I feel like I do make friends, I hear them talking about my back, saying how I'm desperate, how, like, they can tell me what to do and I'll just do it, and I think about it. And then they call me a wuss because I don't, they sometimes tell me, like, to like, smoke or do drugs. And this one time, some girl wanted to beat me up, and I didn't want to, and so I told on the principal, and they started cyberbullying me, and they told me how I was a bitch for not fighting, how I'm a wuss, how I'm a slut. And they told my mom, and she was just like, well, why are you believing them? And she wasn't, like, I felt like she wasn't, like, helping me out in the situation. And I just couldn't, and I tried to, like, go into, like, clubs and stuff, but not a lot of people wouldn't let me. I felt like, I even told myself, like, what's wrong with me? Why don't people like me? Like, what do I need to change? And at times I felt like I just needed to end it. Like, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to make friends. I'm never going to be out there and do what I want to do. And not, like, moving to different schools was just really hard because it's like I'm going to be bullied in every school I go to, and it's happened so many times where I just didn't want to go anymore. And whenever there's, like, events, I just go off into, like, my own world where I'm just alone, and I feel like, how am I gonna get through this? How am I gonna get through it? Like, once I hit high school, how am I gonna handle more bullies and telling me how if I'm pregnant? And sometimes people will still say it because I had a bacteria in my stomach, and like, everything I eat, I can't, like, my body won't accept it, so I throw up a lot, which helped me, it didn't help me, but it, like, hurt me because I started getting spots all over my face. And people are saying that you're pregnant, I can't believe you're pregnant, like, it just made me feel really awful. And now that I'm here in this school, I'm just afraid that it might happen again. And I just try my best to be nice to people, like, I try to show that I am friendly.